comes to those
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for Inters Racing League action, round 7. This time we are in Bahrain in the desert. Actually, first race of 3 consecutive races in the desert, as we've got Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia in the next 2 rounds. But let's focus on tonight, Bahrain. Scotty with you once again. Week off, but I'm back. So looking towards some fantastic action, and this time in the box with me, another Tier 1 driver in his first time in the box for Tier 3 this season, Karama. How are you going, mate?
Yeah, thanks, man. It is going very well, actually. It's a pleasure to be there and to come at the TF3 race. And especially on Bahrain, because I really like this track, so yep, it's going to be such a pleasure to comment with you.
Yeah, that's right. As you can see on the left side of your screen, we've got all 20 drivers in, so we're going to have a nice full grid. 18 minutes of quali in the desert. So we'll see how these guys go. Obviously, we're matching up with the real life F1 race that starts off the real life 2023 season. So we'll see if the likes of Christo and Bompton can sort of replicate Alonso's form in practice so far. But I
Yep.
reckon it's going to be good. Pole position. Who are we thinking so far? Obviously, we've had a bit of variety with the poles. Anyone that you're sort of liking in this grid?
Uh, yeah, I think Gio is going to be quite a good driver to compete for the pole position there. He's such a good driver, and yeah, I believe he is going to take the pole position there.
Yeah, exactly. It's very tight, I reckon. Obviously, Izzy Bro back in, Gordo, Burke, Sergeant Potato shown some good form as well. Maybe not have nailed it in quali, but race pace is definitely gone fairly well. As I think who we got just about to start their lap, NATO Bien. So do you want to actually talk us through this lap with the Alpine driver?
Yep, I will further nitrogen there. So the rest of the last corner there, across the line down to the first corner is a really important corner. You have to carry a lot of minimal speed there to take a good exit. Be careful on the curve on the exit. You do not want to spin. There is turn there, turn 4 coming up. Be really careful on the exit there. You clip the curve on the inside and on the exit there. And you cross the first sector with a 28.7. He is doing pretty well so far. Coming to turn 8. Nice looking exit there. Now we are going to already probably the most tricky corner of this track, the turn 10. Really important to get a good exit there. You wanna carry the speed through all the straight after it. Turn 11, such a good corner. I really like this corner personally. I don't know about you.
Yeah, definitely like that the corner. Definitely tricky part, the middle section of this track.
Yep. Turn 13, you want to carry a lot of speed there to continue on the straight. Coming to the last corner of the circuit, turn 14. You want to clip the inside and get a nice exit there to carry the speed to the finish line, DRS. And it is 29.1 for Naturian there.
Yeah, so not a bad lap from the Alpine driver. Puts him on pole at the moment, as we've got the Ferrari driver. And he just beats him.
We do have passive Venator taking P3 with a 29.8, beaten by Deadly Fuller by 6,000 of a second. Wow. As Verg goes on pole with a sub 29, guys. Yeah, that was a really great up there.
Yeah, exactly. Burke showing his pace straight away. Ratbag just starting his first flyer. Seb K21, reserving for the first time this season, I believe, and he pops in a 29.5. Speaking to him just before, hasn't done a lot of practice around here, so this will sort of be his practice.
Oh boys, crossing the line.
Yeah, cool boy, crosses the line. That's probably
Yep, Christo coming to the line there, taking a P5 with a 29.4.
Yeah, Christo putting in a good lap at the start, but very close in the mid pack already. Not a lot of people separated. Bompton crosses the line. He goes P9 on a 29.5. Suts, the Haas driver, goes up into fourth on a 29.2. Who we got? Shadow currently in the middle sector at the moment, around turn 10. So both Alpha Romeo drivers yet to put a time on the board. And as a fellow Alpha Romeo driver, hoping these guys are going well. But Ratbag, I think he's just lost it here. We should see it on screen.
Yeah, Ratbag is around there. So, as we see Shadow coming there to the turn away, Ratbag. And Shadow almost losing it there on the exit of turn 13 too.
Yeah, both Alfa Romeos just struggling at the moment. Haven't had the season that these two definitely would have wanted, but Ratbag, unfortunately, haven't set a lap time, so he'll be starting at the rear of this grid. Shadow, he comes across the line first and does a 31.1, so he's going to want to try and find improvement with about, probably got about 12 minutes left to go in the session. As we see, I think everyone's about to come into the pits.
And surprisingly, there's 3 cars that haven't done a single lap there. Kyo, Tetris, and Ads haven't done any single lap so far.
Yeah, Tetris feeling a little bit under the weather tonight, so fingers crossed that he can pull out a good one. He's felt a lot better than what he was yesterday, so hopefully he can get through the race with not too many issues. Kaio, the new full-time Haas driver in Tier 3, so he'll be looking to put out a very good first outing for the Haas team. And I'm just having a look, because I think Kai did score a podium last time out in Singapore, so he's actually got some good form coming into tonight's race. Verk sort of dominated last week, win by over 13 seconds to Bompton, who did get second place. Kai third. Sergeant Potato, starting from the rear of grid, actually managing to finish in fourth place and only 3 seconds behind a podium. So, fantastic drive for Sergeant. He'd obviously would want to not necessarily fight through the field, but actually be at the front. Currently P11 at the moment, so not too bad. He'll definitely want to find some more pace, but as we can sort of see from Christo down, it's only 2 to 4 tenths, covering about 8 drivers, so very close after the first runs.
Yeah, definitely. I think the gap between all the drivers are going to quickly get reduced, and we're definitely going to have few cars running under the 29. So it's going to be really interesting there to see the track evolution too, because I believe Bahrain is such a track with an enormous track evolution, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And looking at last night's race in Tier 4, pole was a 28.9, so Verk's already
Yeah.
beaten Tier 4's time. We did see two drivers in Tier 4 get out of the 29, so I'd imagine we'd see a few more here, and the likes of Easy Bro and I reckon a few others will try and jump into the 28s.
Sorry for that. Yeah, definitely. There's going to be, I believe, I'm probably 6 drivers under the 29.
Yeah.
I'm currently on board with Natobian there on his second lap, and he's not improving so far on the first sector. He's a tenth and a half late on Verk. That's not what you wanna have on the second lap.
As he comes into turn 10.
Yeah.
Oh, get a little bit squirrely out of there, so I think he might be aborting this lap, and he has. He's turned off his ERS.
Yeah.
So he should be able to recover a little bit more, so he can go for a second run. Just got to watch the Red Bull behind, which may be not Easy Bro, Cool Boy.
It is Cool Boy, yeah.
Yeah, so he's
On an half lap,
lap.
yeah. I believe
Bumpton.
next corner. No, Bumpton is on the in lap.
In lap.
Actually, yep. He crossed the line to get a P6.
Oh, Gordo's 3/10. Gordo's 3/10, so this will put him in pole. As he comes around the second sector line, he's 3.5 tenths up, so this is looking for a 28.7 if he can finish the lap. So it's going to
be... even 28.6 actually.
Takes the
he
final
was, he was actually late on his middle sector. Nick crossed the line. It's such a big improvement there. 28.5. Wow. That was quite a beautiful lap from Gordo here.
Yeah, that was a very nice lap from Gordo. One of my favourites for pole position tonight. Maybe he'll be a little bit lucky in the races not to be further up in this championship, but that's what he wanted straight off the bat. So he'll be happy with that, and we'll see if the guys behind can catch him.
Yeah, definitely. And as I just saw, Tetris started his first lap, and he's doing pretty well. So far, he's only 1/10 behind the fastest sector 1, so he's going to get, I believe, such a great time there on the board.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on his lap. Oh, and as I just switched to Nativian, he has a spin coming out of the second last corner. So you have to be careful with the rejoin, which he should do that perfectly fine, but that costs him another lap, so he'll be back into the pits for a new set of sauce.
And Cool Boy is improving so far, crossing the DRS line and the line, and improved by 8 tenths. That's quite a huge improvement there.
Yeah, nice lap from Cool Boy, 29.6 now.
Yeah.
Here we got JJ about to cross the line. He is about 2.5 tenths up, so this will move him possibly onto that second row if he finds time out of the last corner. And he does.
Tetris is crossing the line to get a P3. Wow. Such a big... And Pierre Tunic is on his first lap 2 of the session. He's currently about 3 tenths slower than the leader. As we see, Shadow is going to cross the line. He's on the lap 2. He's not really improving so much so far, but it still do improve by 2 tenths.
Yeah, just need to get the lap.
Easy, bro. There's Passive Neither coming. And as Kutanic is actually took the purple sector on his lap and is taking the pole position there with the purple sector, sector 2. Such a big lap there from Kutanic.
Yeah, that was a nice lap from Kyo. Obviously, hadn't set a lap time yet, so pole position at the moment. Haas team principal will be very happy with that, with the new signee. Ad's currently the only one to set a lap time. Ad's wants me to say something nice about him. Well, if we actually see you out on track, I might be able to say something nice, but you're not doing much by sitting in pit lane. So
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on you. I'm assuming that he's going to come out for one run at the end. As we try and find any of the guys, they're going to come in. But yeah, Kai and Gordo only separated by half a tenth. It's got to be very close. Burke, he actually had a moment on his next run, on his last run,
Yeah.
I should say. So that's why he came into the pit straight away. So we'll see how he goes. This will be his final run, and he's actually gone out quite early. We're still with 4 minutes to go, so
Yeah,
he wants to clear track.
yeah, I believe he wants to still have time if maybe through the he been the lap and maybe try to recover energy and start another lap.
Yeah, exactly. But a good thing to point out also with Sergeant Potato, his teammate, right behind him. So he's having
Yeah,
a lot better qualifying session than what he did last week too.
yeah, such a great improvement there for Potato, and I believe Nate Turbian too is on the outlap, so he's going to be the first one to have an opportunity to improve his time. As we see Potato having a moment on the last corner.
I think he ran out of fuel. Coming into pit lane,
Yeah,
obviously trying to fill the car with minimum fuel as he can, and just runs out before the line. But he's in and gets out of the way for Nadabian, who will actually start his final lap. He does have one more if he does have an issue on this lap, but we'll follow him through turn one. We saw him have a few moments here and there on this circuit, so we know he's got pace in him. But he hasn't had the championship at the moment that he's won. We've seen good speed from him. Delhi Fuller, he's had enough. He's retired in the pit lane. So we'll follow the Alpine, taking a wide line through turn 4. He's up by a tenth and a half, which will put him just behind 4th, but he has a moment.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Yeah, it is quite unfortunate. He was such really close to Kyotonik on the first sector. It is really unfortunate for the Alpine driver there, as we see actually Verk coming right behind him.
Yeah, so I think with Nado's accident, as we watch Verk at the moment, just having a bit of correction just right in that curb, and we know that the exit curb at turn 7 can upset the car, and just I think you just try you saw the little bit of overcorrection, and then just the spin, and unfortunately unable to do much. But luckily for Nadabian, it's still early on his lap, so he can turn off ERS, save that, and then get his tyres temps back in line. But Verk's gone purple middle sector, but he's currently down.
Verk was actually late on his first sector, so it's going to be quite complicated there for the McLaren driver to compete for the pole position there.
Yeah,
As we see,
he stays out. Don't know what he wanted there.
Yeah, what such a weird moment there.
Interesting there, because he won't have enough time to get around to do his final run. He pretty much has to push on this lap to possibly make it, but I think he's done. As JJ about to finish his final, we'll just see who's actually close to there. Richo has gone purple middle sector compared to his own time, so we'll see how he goes. He only needs to find a couple of tenths, and that pops him right into the top 5. This comes around the last corner now. Seemed fairly smooth through there. There's a right shoulder cam over the line. He finds half a second and puts himself on the second row of the grid. Very nice lap time from Richo, 28.6.
And as we see, Easy Bro coming to start his lap actually. Japtonic crossing the line, Button is following him. That race scored those sets later. Yeah, all these gentlemen are going to hopefully improve their time. Yeah.
Exactly. On board with Cool Boy coming through, just about to hit the second sector line. He's nearly half a second up again. So if he can finish this lap, this will possibly put him in the top 10 as well. And he's actually... I thought he was going to get a nice tow from the car in front. Maybe not quite close enough. But if he can get a nice exit out of the final corner as that McLaren in front has a spin. And I think that might have been it's Verk perhaps, but
Yeah,
Cool
it
Boy.
is work.
Oh, Cool Boy just lost a little bit of time, but he does move up into 13th. I think,
I believe Positive will be the next to cross the line with a almost 14th improvement there. That will put him into P12 or P13.
yeah, needs to find some time out of this last corner, but oh, and he has a
And
spin.
it
So
is
just
such a
yeah,
and
just
he's
a few of these
reset
guys.
to track. He just reset to track
Yeah,
option.
Christo, not exactly, wouldn't
Yep.
be exactly happy with that. Christo does move up a little bit ahead of his teammate at the moment.
And we
Izzy
do
Pro.
have
Izzy Pro's the
Titanic
13th.
not improving there.
Oh,
Titanic isn't improving, and we see Bluder coming into the pits. Godo is still on the lap, and he will finish it. Hopefully, with improvement there.
Sutz is currently
It
up.
does, but it is not enough to get the pole position of Caillou. As we see Eds 2 coming to close to finish his first lap
On board.
across the line,
Adds
and it
only
is
19th.
P19 unfortunately for the Alpine driver.
Come on, Ads.
And
I was supposed to say something nice about you, and you put in a P19. Disappointed, mate. Disappointed. But nah.
yeah,
As I said, last hour of the grid. But we know Ads has got some speed to come through this field. But that's pretty much going to end it for Quali and Kaio. Putting that steaming of a lap earlier on. Gets pole, but Gordo. He did improve his final run, but always there's a little bit of contact with the AI cars. Fingers crossed that
yeah.
doesn't give him a 5 place grid penalty. We'll
Yeah,
have a
I
quick.
believe it does. And
We'll have a,
also, who I think it is Bolton who used the reset to track option, so he might get a report there later.
yeah, no, to be in, but we'll quickly scroll through the results. Kaio does get pole position for his first outing in the Haas team. Gordo P2, Richo, really nice lap from him in P3. Seb, our first time reserve, P4, very nice lap from him. Both McLarens will round out the third row of the grid. Tetris, him feeling unwell hasn't stopped him putting in a good result. Suts, JJ and Blue Dog round out the 10, and we'll scroll down to the bottom end. Ads and Ratbag will line up on the last row of the grid. Full grid, 20 drivers. Definitely looking forward to these 29 laps that are about to get underway. Fascinating qualifying. We did see a few drivers having a few moments, especially around turn 7. We had a couple of drivers being out of the last corner.
Yeah,
So it's not an easy track to drive, especially if you overdrive it. And with the start on heavy fuel, it's mainly just trying to keep your nose clean just for the first little stint of the race. But how are we thinking about possible winner tonight? Are we thinking Gordo and Kaio, those two battling for the lead? Can Kaio hold on to his pole position and convert it?
uh, yeah, I believe Kaya is such a great starter, so Godo will have such a difficult moment to get the P1 on the first corner. I might be looking at Richo to compete with the guys in front. He's such a good driver with such a good consistency too. So yeah, they gotta be careful about Richo definitely.
Yeah, exactly. As we show the tyres on screen, interesting. The top pack and the bottom pack on the medium tyres. We've got 4 drivers in the midfield that have decided to go the hard tyre. So JJ, Blue Dog, Nano Bien, and Bompton, they've gone the alternate strategy. Everyone else wanting the good start. So yeah, top 3 definitely interesting. Seb could be in a chance, probably, and he's not going to like me saying this, but he cannot start to save his life. So expect Seb to be down in like P10 and try and have to make his way through. Hopefully sort out his start issues. Just can't quite get away. But if Sebi can get the good start, he'll definitely be one to watch out for. But Sergeant Potato and Burke, those two will be looking out. And Burke, I think, will be a little bit disappointed with how quality went. Just couldn't get his lap
Yeah, definitely.
in. Like he either had a moment or just invalidated his lap. So there's definitely more pace in that McLaren than I reckon what he showed
Yep.
in quali. So watch for him as well coming through the top guys as well.
Yeah, indeed. Verk had the moment on the last corner of this run. He was improving by, I believe,
Oh,
shooting as we do see him spinning there on turn 11. You gotta be careful on the entry of the track,
oh, he's
and as he got
disqualified.
disqualified, unfortunately, he's
And
going to start with the cold tires there.
yeah, they probably won't be 70 degrees, but they're going to be a lot less than the cars around him. So,
Yeah.
Burke, you may unfortunately see him go backwards. But I'm not sure. He might be. Is he on the inside or the outside line?
It is on the inside of
Oh,
the track.
yeah, that might be a little bit tricky for him. He can't go deep around the outside, so he's gonna have to be mindful.
Yeah.
We know how tight
Yeah.
this turn 1, 2, and 3 are
Yep.
around here. So fingers crossed that we can make it through clean scathed. As Shadow is the one, he might have had a moment as well. He's gonna round us
Then
out,
the Fuller disqualified.
just cutting the line,
But,
gone over the line a little bit. So it was
and
ads.
adds they disqualified to. There are still the two McLaren. There are two up for me lining up on the grid. As it is, gentlemen, lights coming on the screen, and
And
we do see Kaya having a great start there. Gordo is going to be battling with Richo, as we do see the three gentlemen in front are having such good moment, and I believe there's there was a Mercedes around on the first corner, deadly fallout, dropping, and Gordo is still quite close to Kyoto, as we do see some position changing on the back of the grid there.
yeah, a lot of position change in the midfielders. We've got Deadly Fuller and Shadow going side by side through 6 and 7. They somehow managed to get away with it. Shadow gets the move done. And that's a Ferrari gone at the Black Blue Dog. So he's had an issue off the start, and he's going to be right at the back. Fingers crossed he doesn't have any side pod damages. Nadibian, no, yeah, has an issue. Ooh, both Alpine, so fingers crossed they haven't come together. But that's not the greatest of starts, as we've got Coolboy and Christo going side by side into turn
Yep.
11. Coolboy gets the job done. So, it
Oh,
does run a little
yeah.
bit wide. Does Christo come back? He does. Coolboy still on the
Oh,
inside. Got to be
oh.
close.
Yep, definitely. As we are taking a look there on the J, yeah, it was really tight between these two guys there on the turn 12. It's really not a really is easy corner to take, and especially going side by side with another car is really difficult.
Exactly. Kyle leads the first lap. Gordo, Richo, Seb, top four remain as they are. Verk with the colder tyres has managed to stay back. Coolboy and Christo battling once again out of turn 1, 2. Oh, Coolboy has a bit of a twitch. This will allow Christo back. Coolboy just got to be careful with the rejoin, but they're still side by side. Coolboy's used pretty much nearly all his battery in the first lap and a half, so you're going to have to be a little bit careful. Got to give Christo a little bit of space off the inside, and we've got Nanabian around at the exit of turn 3. But yeah, this Coolboy Christo battle, while it's good, they're losing losing time to the top 8, so they've got to be careful. As Izzybro got
As we see Jay going for the overtake there on turn 10 is really not an unusual overtaking spot, as we do see Hillsborough having a better exit than the Mercedes driver. He is going for the outside there on such a high-speed corner, but he does not get the move done. He is followed by the Aston Martin driver Bobton, who is definitely going to want to get the job done and come back on the front boys, because I believe Bobton has such a great base, so he's going to want to return on the top spot of the race, as we do see Verg taking the fastest lap. So Verg, the McLaren driver, is definitely going to be playing with the two guys in front there.
yeah, exactly, and we see Bompton going up the inside of Passive, but I think that was a move for Passive. Oh, Oh, bit of a squeeze with Bompton off the edge of the track. Those two still side by side, and does he get the move done? A little bit of contact, still side by side, and watch Shadow. Oh, and Shadow has a spin.
Shadow.
Oh, and there's more contact. Does he keep
There's a
it out of the
contact
wall?
between. Oh yeah.
Nicely done, Passive keeping it out of the wall, but yeah, just side to side contact. Oh, got
Yeah.
to be careful with Passive on the track. Manages to let the two pass, but was going to say Burke gets past his teammate, so whether that was a bit of team orders, with Burke possibly being the faster driver, but Burke into P5 now, and he's got about a second and a half to close into Seb, who's right behind Richo. Obviously, DRS activated this first lap, but this top pack sort of just taking it easier than what we're seeing in the mid pack. Sort of got a bit of a train behind Cool Boy, and these guys just constantly battling side by side as we got Izzy Bro thinking about a move, not necessarily the last corner. Oh, he nearly runs into the back of the Aston Martin. You don't want to exactly get much closer, and that's hurt his run out of the final corner, so he may not be looking for a move now at Christo.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah,
Gorder is actually quite close to Kaya still. He is down to 6% of ERS already, whereas Kaya still have half of his battery. So you don't want to have the ERS out already after 4 laps of racing. It is such unfortunate day for Gorder.
Yeah, exactly.
As we do see,
big crash at turn 3.
Yep.
What has happened there?
There was such a big crash around, I believe, the Williams and the Ferrari, or maybe the Williams and Shadow, and we do have a full safety car.
Yeah, exactly. So that's unfortunate because it seemed like as Nano got a little bit of damage or just half spinning there, but yeah, it seems like both Alphas, and we've seen that's the second incident we've seen already in this race at turn 3, so maybe people just not giving each other room on the exit, and they've had contact. Shadow's been in the wall because he's got completely no front wing, but obviously start of the race will be just about to start lap 5. Do any of the medium runners risk a set of hards to the end, or are we thinking maybe late to safety car, or just worried the hards won't get to the end? It's definitely a risk, but do maybe a couple of these drivers take it?
No, I don't think you wanna jump on the hards, actually. Yeah, you see Gordo is trying to trick the drivers behind. You don't want to jump on the hards, it is way too early. You're going to lose an enormous amount of time, as we do see Christo taking a 5-second penalty for speeding in a pit lane. That is really unfortunate there for the Aston Martin drivers, who's going for the hards. As we see Eds 2 coming into the pits for the hards.
Yeah, probably not a bad shout from Ads, being that he was at the back anyway. Christo, he was probably in the back end of the top 10, so he was going a different strategy. However, that 5-second penalty now completely hurts him, because he can either serve that penalty under this current safety car, but will have to jump back onto the medium tyres to then jump back onto the set of hards. So I don't think he really wants to do that. So he's going to sort of have to leave that 5-second penalty as it is and just sort of hope we maybe get a safety car later down the track to jump on a set of mediums and get it removed. But he's only dropped about 7 positions, but unfortunately, it depends on how well he can make moves on those hards, and yeah, that 5-second is going to hurt him at the end. But we did see a lot of the top 3-4 drivers trying to dummy each other into the pit lane. But they all stayed out, which is probably the better move, because you feel like you definitely want the clear area at the front, instead of trying to fight your way back through this field, because we know how close it's been.
As we see Gordo lining up with Kaya, I believe it is prohibited in the rulebook to get alongside another car during safety car.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if any reports are made in for that, but we'll keep an eye on that, especially on the restart. But so far, only 5 laps. Haven't seen much of the 2 leaders because there's been so much action in the midfield. But Kaya got the start that he wanted. So Gordo, as we saw with that battling before that big accident at turn 3, that He seemed to have to use all of his ERS to keep with Kyo. I know he was really close and only about 3/10 behind when we came onto that battle, but it seemed like he had to use quite a bit to stay with him without DRS. So maybe off this restart, Kyo just seems to have a bit better time of it than Gordo trying to warm up his tyres.
Yeah, definitely. The safety car thing that you hit Gordo because he was out of ERS and he gets another try to pass Kaya. So the safety car is definitely going to help him, but it is also making Richard coming back on these two guys and Verk, who's sitting in P5, wants the part of the battle. So he's going to have to get through Seb and Richard to battle with the two guys in front.
Yeah, exactly. And Richard and Seb were holding their own. They might have been a little bit off, about a second and a half off Gordo, but they were still showing some good speed. But
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see as Shadow does catch onto the back of this train. So we should see the safety car in at the end of this lap. So we've seen 3 cars already take a pit stop, so they can technically go to the end from here if their hards make it.
Yeah, but as I said, it is already going to be complicated for the hard runner now to get to the finish line without bidding again because 25 laps isn't doable on the hards. Even if it depends on the pace of the guys, they will probably have a a puncture. So
Yeah, but we do know
might wanna look for another safety car. Yeah.
Yeah, but we do know safety cars breed safety cars, so if we get a safety car in 2 or 3 laps' time, they'll jump to the right of this pack because you'd reckon all the medium runners would then come in. But we'll have to wait and see. But we'll watch Kyo on this restart. Does he go before or after the corner?
No, I believe he's going to wait and to wait and to wait and to go really late there, as we do see. And he is going. And Godo said, Godo do have such great restart there, right lining up with Kaya on the first corner. He is going to try to get a move down on the inside as Kaya jump on the inside too. And Kaya had a bit of a moment there, almost spinning, and he's get passed by Richard, who is going on the inside of Godo. Gentlemen, wow.
Yeah, very close. Kai trying to fight back. Richard got a little bit boxed in, trying to think about the Gordo. Didn't obviously want to make the move too late. That put him at risk to Kai, who does send it back down the inside at turn 8. But doesn't get the drive off the corner that he wants, so Seb right back into it, but Verk, he's not let these top 4 go. But yeah, I think with Kai, I know he was going late, but I think he just left it a little bit too late towards the line, so Gordo had the chance to maybe get a little bit of a jump on him and not pass him before the line. So, not the best restart from Kai, but he's still P3. But we know he had the pace in clean air, so we'll see if he can follow Richo. But this might actually allow Gordo off the hook. If Gordo can break this 1 second, which he actually nearly already has, we'll see how he goes as we scroll back down the field, because I think there was an incident early on.
Yeah, it sets at a moment and dropped down to last, actually, to P19. So
yeah,
unfortunate for the Haas because Kaya is setting in P3 and sets in P19. So it is going to be a tough race for the Haas there, even though Kaya is P3.
Yeah, exactly, but we're right on board with Verk, side by side.
As Coolboy is going into the pits with Tetris.
Yeah, it was one of the bigger losers. Oh, Kai's had a moment.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it is really tricky on this corner because there's traffic on the exit, so it is really hard to get the move done.
Yeah, because I know that he thought about a move on Richo, but then Seb also was defending, so maybe if Seb had a bit of contact with the rear of the Haas, or Kai just sort of lost it on his own, but all this battling has left Gordo being able to fly away. He's got a 2.5 second gap already as Sergeant Potato gets past his teammate. So McLaren swapping positions, got to be careful as Kai right on the back.
Yeah. And Gordo is already pulling a 2 seconds gap there. It is quite impressive by the Ferrari driver. As we see Jay trying to overtake Caillou on turn 12. Be careful, gentlemen, because this is a really hard corner to take side by side. As Caillou have such a good exit, but have to compromise it not to make Jay spin.
Yeah, exactly. And Kyle was actually looking at the back of Verk coming down that second DRS straight, but JJ was that close to him that he had to go defensive, and Jay had the better line through the outside and got the move done, and actually keeps the position as well. So nice move from the Mercedes driver, currently P6, as we've got Seb going down the inside of Richo at turn 1. It does go a little bit deep. Can Richo get the switch back on him? Gets a better exit out of 3, gets DRS. Pulls alongside, so he's going to have the inside line for turn 4 to Sebtron, hanging around the outside. He's still got the wheel there, and actually manages to get the done. Got the better traction out of 4th, so nice battling up here, but again, these two battling for 2nd and 3rd. Gordo 3 seconds out in front already, and loving life.
As Potato to take out Richard, oh no, mate, that is really unfortunate for the Williams driver. Oh no. Yeah, you don't want to see this on the race. And as we see the two Mercedes coming together, as Deadly Fuller had a spin there on turn 10, I believe on the curb on the outside.
Yeah, so really unlucky. So a lot of action in this last half lap. So, yeah, so from what you saw, Sergeant Potato just hit the back of Richo.
Yep. Yeah. Potato took out Richard by making his spin on the exit off turn 8.
Yeah, we know how the downhill 8, if you go a little bit deep, that yeah, you can make contact, and obviously that's what happens. So Sargent might be in a little bit of trouble for that, but that currently leaves both McLaren's P3 and P4, as we have more team orders at McLaren. So these two working together with the DRS. So Vert gets back into P3. About a second off Seb, so we would have DRS down this straight, but Sargent won't bite him. But Kai's still hanging in there, so he dropped back on this restart, but still in the top 5. He's managed to avoid a little bit of the chaos and hasn't got damage from it. So is JJ. He had obviously that little bit of a spin, but both Mercedes currently 6th and 7th at the moment. And who's that? Ratbag and Izzy going nearly side by side, but Kai. I reckon Kai was thinking about a move down the inside then, but not quite as.
Shadow here at the moment with sets. I don't know what happened between these two guys, but yeah, there's no front wing on the highest offsets there, whereas the Alfa Romeo Shadow still have all these parts. So I don't know what happened between these two guys, but they created a full safety car.
Yeah, I was about to say that's brought out the safety car. So it seems like Shadow got the 5-second penalty before he made the 5-second collision. So I'm wondering if there was an incident where he's either lost it and cut across turn 8, because I think that's where it was, and then sort of collected Suts. Not 100% sure about that, but obviously both those drivers. But yeah, go to the front.
We do see Potato trying to slow down because they are going to have to double stack on F122, and we do know that the double stack is completely horrible on the game. It makes you lose such a big amount of time.
Yeah, didn't lose a lot of time, but he's going to get held up by the Alpine. Did he squeeze out in front of the Mercedes? He does, but he's definitely lost time because Bompton and a few others have jumped him.
Yeah, he's probably losing two positions there, so it is really unfortunate for the McLaren driver.
Yeah, he did. But so Gordo maintains his effective race lead, but we've still got 4 people yet to box. So JJ, Christo, Ads, and Shadow. Just remember that Christo, Ads, and Shadow have already stopped once. So actually Christo's the effective race lead, but can those hards hold on, and does he have the pace to keep the likes of Gordo, Seb and Burke behind him?
No, I don't think that the boys in front are going to be capable to hold on Gordo and the guys in front. Maybe Eds could try a move there because he does not have any penalties, so he do have something to play here. He can probably get a good, really good position finish by not pitting anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I think these three, Christo, Ads, Shadow, won't be too affected in terms of the hard tyres, in terms of wear. They'll be fairly equal with the guys that have just come out. It's going to be in about 10 laps time when they start hitting the cliff and how much their pace drops off. So you won't see the difference now, but you'll start seeing it grow towards the latter ends of this race. So it's whether or not they can get at least a bit of a gap. But as you said, Christo and Shadow already having pens sort of wipes out that advantage that they got. Ads is probably in the best spot, but does he have the pace to keep Gordo behind?
Yeah.
Gordo in that clear air, as we saw the guys fighting behind, he was rapid.
And actually, Shadow does have damage. He has 50% flow damage, so his flow is damage. Is going to really struggle to keep the car on track, and he do have rear wing damage too. So and front wing damage. So he might wanna take his car to the pits there to retire or to change at least his front wing. And as it is going to be a little bit complicated for him because he currently have 20% on his hards, whereas Gordo is only at 2%. So it is going to be complicated for Shadow to keep the Gordo right behind him.
Yeah, so obviously unfortunate that if with Shadow, with that damage that he's got, he's definitely going to struggle. And we know this track, obviously you want to run the least amount of wings that you can down, obviously the long straights, but you need some downforce for this middle part of the lap. And yeah, having any sort of damage, especially out of the first chicane and then through the S's of 6 and 7, it can definitely be tough. As Richo, he gets a 5-second penalty, 5-second penalty for hitting Cool Boy. So Richo's night, and Cool Boy's behind him. So that might have been a Cool Boy hitting Richo situation. So unfortunately, both of them picking up 5 seconds. They do. So Richo, if he doesn't stop, may be able to get that removed if that's how we're thinking that's ended up. As we do see the safety car come in. So unfortunate for Richo, his night's gone from bad to worse. But JJ, he'll lead us away from this safety car.
Yep. And so the current hard runners on the front are going to struggle because they have around 12 laps left on the hards before they have a puncture. So
yeah, exactly.
It is going to be really complicated. Gordo should be right behind the limit. Yeah. As we see the Mercedes almost spinning on the last corner, and he's gone. He's gone.
So we'll see the guys behind Gordo trying to make the moves done early, but he's stuck behind the two cars in front battling on the older set as Seb and Verks trying to find room. As we got a lot of positions being changed, we'll have to wait till we get to the end. I think Christo had a bit of a moment, so he's allowed a lot of cars behind. As we have a look, nearly 3 wide coming into turn 4. Seb on the inside. Oh, and there's contact. And that's Verk.
So I think that Verk is in the wall.
Yeah, so Christo has contact, and that's the other McLaren that will probably have wing damage. And his teammate had nowhere to go. Oh, and there's more contact. Richo's around, hitting the cars. Oh, and that's the Haas as well. Absolute chaos on this restart. How we do not have another safety car is beyond me, but we've got about 5 cars with no front wings. And
actually, Sets he was stuck on the car of Richard there. Oh my god. That was such a hell of a restart there. Yes. And Cool Boy is around on lap 10.
So, yeah, bit of chaos there, and it's taken a few of these top runners out. Burke's back down the field, and I'm pretty sure he is missing an end plate, so he's definitely going to come in. And it's sort of the wrong time. You're going to stretch these You can go into a set of meetings, but he's going to have to stretch them for quite a long way. So, but
Yeah.
but the big mover of that, Gordo, into P2, managed to avoid the trouble, and him and JJ obviously has to stop. He'll be liking a safety car in the next couple of laps to box on the set. So,
As Potato do have a little bit of damage on the following end plate, so he's going to struggle to finish the race without losing the time or his car.
yeah, and Burke unfortunately gets a 5-second time penalty for spending in pit lane, so he's not having the night. It was going well, but he's going to have to get a front wing. But you won't see him retire from the race because he's leading this championship. Suts he gets a 5-second time penalty as well. So people are having a bit of trouble trying to keep the speed hit the speed limit, I should say. And that's Deli Fuller going up the inside, so Shadow's really struggling with that damage, and he bumps off Deli Fuller, so he completely missed his braking zone, runs into the back to the side of Deli Fuller. Hopefully he doesn't have any damage. So these guys have sort of forgotten how to drive a little bit off this restart, and Deli Fuller, hopefully he's right, but Kaio, he's thought about a move on ads, but not quite. So
I don't know what Vert decided to do, getting on the soft there, because there's still 15 laps to go, and the soft won't make more than 10 laps. So.
Yeah, maybe either a wrong decision or he thought the mediums maybe wouldn't have lasted, but I would have preferred the mediums than the soft because he's going to have to make yet another pit stop. So unless he's got side pod damage and the like, so maybe he wants to try and keep the car in as much as he can. And as I said, there's still good points because we've seen chaos in the first half of this race as we've just hit the halfway mark, 15 laps to go. So yeah, it's definitely possible to be able to claw back, but this is sort of spread out the field, especially at the top end. Deadly Porter's got a bit of a train behind him, but Gordo and Seb.
And
who's that?
There's Serbian around, and Ed's being overtaken by Kaya, the boys are battling for P5 as Ed almost rush into the back of Caillou as we see Shadow retiring in pit.
Yeah,
and I believe Verk too is going to retire in pit. That's really unfortunate for this driver.
Burke's not retired just yet, but yeah, Shadow obviously with that damage, we saw how much trouble he was having in these last couple of laps, so unfortunate for the Alfa Romeo driver. We'll see him back next week.
Yeah.
But Verk's at the back. Verk's gone soft, then back onto the set of hard, so he'll go to the end, but he's going to be a long way back as Deadly Fuller and Izzy Bro go side by side. Izzy Bro gets the move done. Nearly thought a contact there, but Izzy Bro gets the job done. He moves himself up into P8 as we've got Shadow joining us. Unfortunately, Shadow has a fellow Alfa Romeo driver. Obviously not your night, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it definitely was not my night. Just unfortunate. The last incident with Deadly Fola, that was my fault. I just outbroke myself and kind of slammed into the side of him, so I apologize to that. But yeah, no, so just the incident with I believe Passive Nito was what caused my side pod damage. So just kind of ruined my race there, and then an incident with...
Oh, sorry, I have to break off on your ads. He's had a moment out of turn 4, so once again we've got another car hitting the side, and while we're watching that, Gordo, he takes the lead from JJ at turn 4. So Gordo takes the lead, JJ just needs to hold with him, needs to go another couple of laps and we'll see him on brand new tyres. But yeah, back to you, Shadow. Yeah, obviously unfortunate with obviously the side pod damage from an accident early on. And sort of how's the racecraft sort of been? We've sort of seen bit of chaos this race, surprisingly.
Something I've kind of noticed is that it's just kind of like drivers pushing each other out of the way, and I'll take some blame for that too. I did kind of push a driver off, but like a lot of these drivers are pushing each other off into especially turn 1 and 2, so it's just kind of carnage going into that. And then you kind of just hit each other and your race is over at that point. But yeah, and especially with the setups, I haven't really found a setup that really works here, so I think that's also to blame there, but also just racecraft in general,
Yeah.
and driver knowledge.
Yeah, as we see Sargent and Blue Dog fighting side by side, and Kai just got past Seb, but Sergeant Potato just run a little bit wide and he picks up a 3-second time penalty, but can he get back at the Ferrari driver? He can't, but yeah, so they stay as is, but all of a sudden it goes a little bit wide. But yeah, Shadow, thanks for hopping in here. Obviously, not your night, unfortunately, but yeah, fingers crossed you'll have a better run of it next time out at Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, no, that's the plan. Especially go Alfa Romero and Ratbag.
Yeah, cheers. All right, thanks for joining us, and we'll pop on to Gordo. He's broken JJ's 1 second, so JJ's hards might starting to be die off a little bit, and Kyo's showing some good pace. But Karama, I was going to say,
JJ, JJ already crossed the 50% barrier. I would say the barrier of 50% on the tires. He have 56% on his rear tire, so he's losing an amount of time there that he's going to regret afterwards.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So what do you do if you're JJ? Do you hold on and maybe hope for another safety car, as we've already seen this race, or do you try and stop early, knowing that your mediums can go 10, 11 laps, no problem? Do you sort of make that decision early, or do you risk and wait at Sergeant Potato? He's coming in, so obviously that front wing damage just slowing him down too much, so he's going to box for a new front wing. Set of medium tyres go on, so unfortunately that's going to be both McLarens towards the back end of this field.
Yeah, unfortunately, and if I would be JJ, currently I would wait for maybe lap 20 to pit for the soft, because I believe the softs can do around 8 or 9 laps, as we see, I believe.
Cool boy.
Yeah, Cool Boy having a moment on turn 13.
Yeah, luckily he went towards the outside, not the inside towards the wall, because that could have caused another safety car, but yeah, as we see with the top 8, not really within a second between all of them. But Ratbag sort of got a little bit of a train behind him. Adds after his spin. He'd be super annoyed with that. As we got another yellow flag, and that's NATO in the wall as well at the exit of 8. And this has caused the third safety car.
All safety car. So JJ is going to be in a really good position there. He's going to actually maybe try for the podiums, mate.
Yeah, exactly, and we sort of called it, sort of jinxed the race a little bit, saying the safety car about half a lap earlier, but JJ, this has worked out perfectly for him, and mediums can get to the end no problem. Softs are going to be a bit of a stretch, but what do these guys do? Gordo stays out, JJ obviously comes in, Kaya stays out, Seb stays out, Blue Dog, he was on the medium tyres because he had to box under that second safety car, so he would have struggled, but this gives him a get out of jail free card. Ratbag stays out. Tetris. Tetris comes in. Ratbag is in. Adds comes in as well after that spin. So seen a few drivers come in. So towards the lower end, this will help obviously Verk and the like. Oh, Natabian, he just picked up a 3-second penalty. Now he picked up a 5-second penalty. So we'll wait to see where this field comes out. Then we'll have a quick look at these penalties. But
8 seconds there for Natabian.
Yeah, another front wing change. Obviously, we saw Natabian in the wall at turn 8. So he'll be annoyed with it. All Ratbag and Sergeant Potato. Why these two collided? And Ratbag was behind. So another under safety car penalty. Thankfully, Sergeant Potato didn't get anything. Hopefully he hasn't picked up damage, so that might have been just a little bit of a lock-up from Ratbag, but these guys got to be a little bit careful under safety car. Christo, obviously, when he went in, he obviously had that issue. He got rid of his 5-second penalty, so he's back now clear, but he's down in 13th. Tetris on 3 seconds, Sergeant Potato 3, Ratbag 5, Natabian 8, and Suts had just come in to serve a 5-second penalty and get on some new tyres as well.
Yeah, so, and actually, I just heard that I do have a tiny amount of damage, but still on the front wing, he has a little bit of damage on the end plate. It is 3% of damage, so he's going to be a little bit more tricky to drive, but still very stable.
Yeah,
Very stable.
might be light green, but as I said, might not be too bad around obviously 2/3 of this track. It might be just the middle sector that he struggles with a little bit, but he's in contention and he's just behind Gordo, so the win's still on for him. Seb is doing a very nice job staying in third place. He's kept out of trouble, and Izzy as well. He's managed to claw his way back up this field as well after a bit of a poor qualifying. And I'll bring up the positions changed. Izzy and Deadly Full, as you can see on screen, they've been our two biggest movers. 10 positions for Izzy, Deadly up 11, and also Ratbag. He started rear grid after crashing and qualifying. He's up 10 as well. So not too bad from a few of these guys. Adds up 7. Obviously, he'd be probably a lot higher if he didn't have that spin, unfortunately. And Kai, he's only lost 1 off pole, but still in the chance. But Verk and Suts, obviously, they've been our two biggest losers. Same as Richo, who's unfortunately DNF'd when there was contact and sort of just left stranded on the track. And then cars just sort of couldn't get out of the way in time. Being such a tricky part. Turn 5, he lost it. Turn 5, 6. So as Suts, he's in the pits yet again. So maybe he wants a set of soft tyres.
Yep. As I actually saw Verk has come 5 times into the pits. Wow.
Not sure if that would have been a good idea for Suts, because I'm thinking the safety car might actually be in this lap. So he may actually not get around to this train. So that might have been a poor idea to actually come in and box again, actually. So we'll have to wait and see, but he's going to want to hope that it stays out for another lap. I can't remember how many laps it's been out for, but actually, we can have a look because, oh no, all the medium runners have been on for 1 lap, so.
Yeah.
Alright, so as we look at the board at the moment, top 6 are on the hard tyre, and then from 7th down are on brand new sticky medium tyres, so JJ, he's the one that benefited from it the most. Does he have the pace? Can he get the move done on the hard runners and maybe clinch an unlikely win?
Yeah, maybe, because, it's never easy to focus completely on the restart, and it is really easy to make a bit of mistakes, especially with the quite cool tires. So, yeah, anything can happen on a restart, especially on. So, yeah, I guess we have to wait until the drivers cross the line.
Exactly, safety car did stay out for another lap, so Suts probably should be able to make it to the back of the train. He'll still have to sort of push, but at least his mediums will be nice and warm. But as I said, he's got Tetris in front of him, JJ, that's on 13 laps, so he's going to struggle off the restart, you'd imagine. But then these guys, Deli Full Easy, Seb, Kyo, Gordo, on 10-lap-old hards, they won't be terrible, but how hard are they going to be to get warmed up? And we sort of saw we did see the chaos on the second restart, so we sort of know that a lot of positions can change. So JJ's going to be a little bit cautious. If you can get a couple of these moves done off this opening lap, he's in a very good position.
Yeah, and actually, Verk on the softs is already around 20% tire weight, so he might not be able to take it to the end.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be close. I think he should have probably gone mediums than the softs. Unfortunately, he will not get a chance to box again because we should see safety car in this lap. So, Verk looking to make positions early, but can he sort of keep those positions once his tyres start hitting the cliff? I'm not entirely sure, but he's going to go aggressive. But we do see the safety car coming in this lap, so Gordo, what can he do?
Yep.
This is his first time leading a safety car restart. So he's seen Kai do it, he saw JJ do it. So he saw Kai sort of go a little bit too late and he got the advantage, so does Gordo maybe go a little bit early, maybe before the corner even? I'll have to wait and see. Try and get enough temp in his tyres. Kai right behind him, not wanting him to get away.
And he is going late, actually, and he's gone.
Yeah, that was a nice restart. Kai had a good start from him as well. Oh, JJ's had a
Oh,
moment.
JJ! Oh, wow.
Yeah, 3 or 4 wide. I just tried to click on it as fast as I could, so any momentum that he had, and we've got side by side. I think Tetris is the one that was stuck in between there. So JJ looking in a really good position as Sergeant Potato. He's our lead medium runner at the moment, and he's on the inside. He was on the inside of Blue Dog, but didn't get the run. So we stay steady at the moment. A lot of positions as we've got a lot of guys going 2, 3 wide through there. JJ obviously with no front wing, so he's going to really struggle through here. Just got to be a little bit careful through there. 7 Izzy Bro fighting side by side through 8. Izzy Bro on the inside, but Seb gets the nice run as we go through 9 and 10 at the moment. Is that the Ferrari? Oh, and I think Deadly. I think there was contact, and that sent Izzy Bro around, and it sort of bunched this pack up a lot. It let Seb get away, but sort of a bit of chaos in this pack.
Yeah, so Blue Dog have a little bit of phone damage as well as.
Yeah, Blue Dog's got damage. Yeah, Blue Dog's got damage, so he's getting off the track. So he's obviously run into that congestion at turn 10. So unfortunately, we've got another big championship contender out as Izzy Bro gets past Deadly Fuller, but they've lost nearly 2 seconds to Seb as Sergeant Potato on the mediums. He's already got past the Mercedes.
And as we see Blue Dog coming into the pits there, to really change his front wing. That's really unfortunate for the Ferrari drivers to pit at such the end of the race like this, and JJ too. He was the leading from the leading med runner, and he is now sitting in P17.
Exactly, as Bompton tries to go down the inside of Tetris, he should have much better traction with those new medium tyres, and he does just get the position. Tetris sort of got taking a waddle line through there. He picks up another 3-second time penalty, so he's up to 6. So I'll drop him way back down the field and goes a little bit wide. Sends it down the inside of 8. So he moves himself up into P8. So sort of these guys still battling it out. Tetris on those 15 lap olds. He's getting eaten up by these medium runners at the moment. Oh, and a bit of a moment from Ads just trying to get the drive out of turn 10. So everything stays as it is. Bompton's right behind Deadly Fuller. So I'm wondering if Deadly's got a little bit of damage as well. Just having a quick look. Doesn't seem like there's anything showing up, but it might be light. Oh, and that's a Red Bull in the wall. Izzy Bro, he's had a spin. So just before turn 13, so he might have clipped the curb on 12, but he doesn't have any damage, but that's dropped him right down the field.
Yeah, actually, it does have wearing damage. He almost broke the half of his bearing. That is going to be really unfortunate for the Red Bull driver, as rear-wing damage is really complicated to deal with on the race.
Yeah, and Suits and Nadabian, they had an issue at the last corner, so they've lost a lot of time to the back of the train. But Sergeant Potato, he's looking for a move on Seb. Oh, there was nearly a little bit of contact as Bompton gets past Deadly Fuller, obviously on the medium tyres, so he's moved himself back up into P5. But Sergeant, obviously, a lot of pace on the medium tyres. Seb just trying to sort of keep him there. He does know Sergeant has a penalty, but with those medium tyres, he's probably afraid that he'll be able to gap him by 3 seconds very easily. So just sort of needs to keep him behind as much as possible. But Seb, he's now going to sort of be a little bit of the train with this, as Sergeant Potato does have DRS, but he's used all his DRS, his ERS I should say. And Gordo and Kaio at the front, they're still fighting away. As Sergeant, and there's contact.
And Seb is around, and he break his front wing completely. Oh yeah, and he's coming back on the track, and be careful. To the Alpine coming there.
He has enough time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a little bit. Ad's having to go a little bit wide. Don't think much more
Yeah.
Sebi could have done. He did the spin flick behind and just tried to go to the inside, just obviously with the speed difference that they had. So, but Seb, he'll have to come in. He'll just have to be a little bit careful of the guys there. They give him enough room, thankfully. So Seb, he'll be in for a front wing, but he won't be happy with that. Obviously, Sargent, a nice move around the outside.